Now, NBC5 investigates the alcohol hazing death of David Bogenberger at Northern Illinois University. NBC5's Rob Stafford takes you to the scene of the tragedy on the day David died in 2012. Rob?
Allison, we uncovered documents that show the problem of alcohol overdoses at NIU goes far beyond this one tragedy. And tonight, in a rare interview, David's parents speak out in the hopes what happened to their teenager never happens to yours.
911, where's your emergency?
This family's fight against fraternity hazing began after this call to 911.
Someone here looks like they might be deceased.
The call came far too late from the Pike fraternity at Northern Illinois University. Rigor mortis had already set in.
Who is it?
His name's Dave.
19-year-old David Bogenberger. A deputy would soon knock on his parents' door in Florida.
It seemed so incredible, so unbelievable.
It's a living hell.
Gary and Ruth Bogenberger flew to Illinois to identify their son, a tall, handsome teenager with good grades who grew up in Palatine playing ball and going to prom.
And until I saw him laying dead on a slab in a mortuary, did I really realize that this is real.
The loss was devastating, but the way David died seemed to make it worse.
Was he drinking last night, do you know, or doing anything?
Yeah, he was drinking.
How much did your son drink that night?
Approximately 40 ounces of vodka.
40 ounces.
In approximately 90 minutes.
That's about 26 shots. David's blood alcohol level was more than 4 times the legal limit. The night began on the second floor of the fraternity. NBC5 Investigates obtained these crime scene photos, and police reports would say pledges endured sexual taunts, were pressured to drink by fraternity brothers, and humiliated by sorority sisters brought in for a well-planned ritual called Greek Parents' Night. Police say some pledges passed out, were carried to beds, and turned on their side so they wouldn't choke when they threw up. It wasn't until the next morning the fraternity realized David had died during the night.
Leave the room as it is, okay?
Paramedics found his body in room 15 in the bed on the right. You can see empty bottles, cups everywhere.
He was hazed. He was killed in a hazing incident.
We don't know how common hazing is at NIU, but we do know medical emergencies involving students and alcohol are not uncommon. NBC5 Investigates obtained 3 years of ambulance reports and found more than 130 calls to NIU dormitories, fraternities, and sororities for people so intoxicated they needed emergency care.
Some ambulance reports describe students as highly intoxicated, puking up blood, or unresponsive, has drunk a bunch of vodka, it says.
When you have these large amounts of alcohol in your system, your breathing rate, your heart rate, and your blood pressure, they get shut down, and that is what eventually leads to coma and death.
Prosecutors say what happened to David was a crime. Police arrested 22 students. 5 face felony hazing charges that can carry up to 3 years in prison. All have pleaded not guilty.
They knew people needed medical help. Somebody suggested, let's call 911, and they were told no.
The Bogenbergers are suing the fraternity and the school, but realize nothing will bring David back.
Here's her first day of kindergarten.
The closest they will ever come are these pictures, memories of a son they will never see again.
You want the next kid to make that call.
Yes.
That's what this is about.
Yes.
I want the next kid not to have to make that call. I want the next kid not to be treated the way David was treated.
The university declined to comment on the Bogenberger case, citing the pending lawsuit, but released a statement saying the death of a member of the NIU community is a loss which affects us all, and we continue to mourn. NIU takes a proactive approach to providing education and training for students related to alcohol, and specifically to members of the Greek community. Lawyers for the students have asked the state to drop the charges. A judge will rule on that May 29th.